Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these du Paraquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
You don't think much of the current Orlesian nobility?
I do not. It is a watered-down shadow of its former glory, degraded by a mongrel mix of tradesmen and merchants. Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Perhaps the services of some of the best trained soldiers in Orlais?
Normally, I wouldn't be interested, but I would enjoy not having to beg Gaspard for Chevalier. For a man who loathes the game, he has an extraordinarily sharp memory for favors. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the du Paraquets into lordship.
What can I do for you, your inquisitorialness?
I've read your Tale of the Champion.
That's a pretty common reaction. What can I do for you, your inquisitorialness?
Tell me more about Bianca.
I'm not making any promises here. Ask.
What makes the Merchants Guild such a danger to her?
Well, to be fair, it's more of a danger to me. Technically, we're not supposed to be within 300 leagues of one another. If it got back to the guild that we were seen together, they'd freeze my assets and then have me killed. Maybe not in that order.
What in the world did you do to cause that?
We almost started a clan war. Does it matter? I can't change it now.
How do you know Bianca? The lady, I mean, not the crossbow.
I met her years ago when she still lived in Kirkwall, and I was looking for someone with, mechanical skills. Bianca is, beyond a doubt, the most brilliant smith you'll ever meet. I haven't seen her since she got married and moved to Orlais.
Bianca is married? Somehow I thought that the two of you had a history.
Bianca's family are Kalnas. Surface dwarves, so conservative they don't take a piss without asking the ancestors first. They picked out a smith caste boy for her. Wealthy, respected, has a great anvil collection. The perfect husband. I heard the wedding was lovely. The one Bianca actually showed up for, anyway.
All right, tell me the truth. Bianca made your crossbow, didn't she? I mean, it has her name.
It's not that simple. The Carta thinks my Bianca was a freak success by a Carta inventor who could never duplicate it. If they thought anyone else was involved, someone who could make one work, things would be bad. So, I really can't tell the story. I don't want any more blood on my hands.
So how long have the two of you been together?
Well, if you want to split hairs, we're not. Usually there's a continent between us at all times. We write letters. Now and then we manage to meet up. I don't know if that's together. Shit, it's been what, 15 years? Great. Now I feel old. Thanks.
I guess that's it for now.
Sure. I'll be here.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
They're a polite bunch of ruthless murderers, I'll give them that.
I regret we were forced to deal with them, that you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer.
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs join those ranks.
No, I was a rather foolish exception. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard drew a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
You've drawn a clear enough picture.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montillier, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed. The Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
In Redcliffe, I saw the future Corypheus built. We can't let that happen.
It was always so, was it not? The madman would bury us all.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
For starters, we don't let Corypheus worry us to death. Imagine how embarrassing that would be. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morrigan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
Remember what Corypheus has done while you plan. Every loss, every setback, every death. Let him learn what it means to be an enemy of the Inquisition.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lord, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True. You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable. But I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the alluvian he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Come on, let's go plug some assholes.
I hope you're right about this temple, Morrigan. I could use a building or two.
Do the woods discomfort you, Pavos?
It's mostly the people trying to cut our heads off that manage that.
There. That must be the Temple of Mithal.
Be ready. Corypheus will be there.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namilana Sabanale.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
It cannot be!
Across the bridge! Now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
Hold on. Corypheus mentioned a Well of Sorrows. I thought he was here for an alluvian.
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You were guessing. Corypheus might not be after this alluvian. It might not even be here.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
and his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So, how many times do we need to kill him? It's a small number, right?
Strike Corypheus down, and he will rise anew.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
We're out of luck, unless one of those temple elves drops a lexicon.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Oh, no. This is bad. Rituals are bad. I can't want this.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back. I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Anything good on them?
Rummage their corpses, by all means.
Hold them off! Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
Right. Slow down. Give the baddies a chance. That's fair and dumb. If we're going in, let's get in. Jump already.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
You're very eager to reach our destination.
Are we not all eager to stop Corypheus from achieving his mad plan?
It sounds like what you want is that well.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it.
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What sort of curse should we brace ourselves for if we use the well?
'Twould be easier by far to advise you of a curse. This price is not so well defined. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. 'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
So you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlin did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over.
Wait, that's not right. What are you saying?
You would not know truth. Shemlin history is as short as the pool of your years.
What did the Imperium do then? Are you saying it wasn't a war?
The war of carrion feasting upon a corpse, yes. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Belasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
We came to stop Corypheus. He's here to take your well, not I.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mithal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morrigan! The Sentinels are holding off the Red Templars.
Good for something, I guess, if they keep it up.
Abelas gave us his word.
Well, good for Dusty Butt.
The Well of Sorrows.
So Mithal endures.
How has such magic lasted?
You tough bastards. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor. You and those elf things don't know when to stop. We come to the back end of nowhere, and here you are.
Leading the Inquisition takes me to all sorts of interesting places.
You came too far this time. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, and he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more task entrusted to me. Being force-fed Chantry lyrium was good for something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
Corypheus already caused one disaster. Help him now, and he'll rip the world apart.
I'm helping him reshape it. He's had centuries to make ready. You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength the Chantry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. I will bring Corypheus the well's power and your head, all at once. To arms!
Well, you wretch. You can't take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
Still alive. He's tough. We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment. Abelas!
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Samson to use the well. Without him, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
It's better that knowledge remain in the well, never passed on. You'd rather destroy it.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Gifts like this don't come freely.
No boon of Mythal was ever granted without cost. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched.
The Imperium went to great lengths to expunge Elven history. You might be the last to know the truth.
Would the elves of your lands listen to the truth?
No elfie elf will believe it. What would they cry about if their glory wasn't stolen? Big loss.
It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Virabella San remains. As do we. That is something.
You could come with us. Fight Corypheus. He killed your people.
We killed ourselves. Long ago.
Malas amali nahalam abalas. His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mathal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Seems like that should be a concern.
Knowledge begets a hunger for more. I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
What about you, Dorian?
A human from Tevinter scoops up the last bits of elven knowledge? I know why you ask. I know it's important, but I can't be that man.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mithal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
I hate to say it, but Abelas's plan to destroy the well may be the best one.
What happens when Corypheus comes for you again? He is immortal. The wisdom of the well may include a way to destroy him. Give me this, and I fight at your side. I shall be your sword.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
It all seems ghoulish. Let Morrigan use it, if she wants it so much.
It's called the Well of Sorrows. Sorrows? No one should go in the Well of Sorrows.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
The Inquisition needs you. Corypheus still endangers us all.
Perhaps it is better this way. Do as you will with the Well of Sorrows, Inquisitor. But be careful.
Why am I here? Corypheus! A Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. I can't understand what you're... Look, will you help me or not?
Inquisitor! Inquisitor! How do you feel?
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not. He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
I hear something.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
Then help me. Isn't that what you came here to do?
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon is not an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
There is a way, but I'll need Morrigan's help.
The voices from the well tell you that, do they? Very well, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready to begin this plan of yours.
Are you certain of this?
I don't think certain is the right word.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an ancient rune where you consumed a pool of elfiness, and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
Carry on.
Why did you do it? I warned you not to.
Solus.
You gave yourself into the service of an ancient elven god!
What does that mean exactly?
You are Mythal's creature now. Everything you do, whether you know it or not, will be for her. You have given up a part of yourself.
I have not become Mythal's slave.
Not yet. But if you remove the layer of nostalgia from stories of the elven gods, you might see the danger. They were arrogant and fickle. They warred amongst themselves. They had feuds, vendettas. And you are bound to one of them now. I suppose it is better you have the power than Corypheus. Which leads to the next logical question. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I won't know the answer until Corypheus is defeated.
Yet they are already asking you to answer. Restore the Chantry? Destroy the Chantry? If you do nothing, someone else will answer in your stead. Whatever you do, choose wisely. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Thank you, Solus. We couldn't have done this without you.
You are welcome.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
How does this relate to the Elven Temple?
That elf, Abelas. He said the Imperium wasn't what destroyed the elves. My people would never accept that. It would reduce us to scavengers, destroy our legacy no matter how terrible. But we should accept it. Take our history down a peg. Confront the legacy hanging over us like a shroud. Maybe not all of us want to, but that could be altered. If you can change minds, so can I.
Someone with your impeccable taste could transform Tevinter.
I hope you're right. You usually are. It might surprise you to know that you're the one who inspired me. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything.
I'm told you gave the Grey Wardens another chance, Inquisitor. Would I have done the same, I wonder? Forgiveness can be difficult. I hope the Order values what you've done, and gives you no reason to regret it.
I was pondering who might be divine, and it suddenly occurred to me. Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
I think you would make a good divine.
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Clerics to vote in my favor. The Chantry was a beacon of hope to me once, you know. In my years at Lothering's Chantry, we turned no one away from our doors. It was a refuge, a place of peace. I felt the Maker's presence and his love even when they told me he'd left us. This is the Chantry I know, The chantry I wish the world to see.
The chantry you describe is vastly different from the one I know.
But it could be this way, could it not? The chantry dictated where it should have inspired. It spoke of judgment instead of acceptance. It should encourage the good in everyone, rather than rebuke us for our sins. No one should be turned away from our doors. No one is without worth. Whoever you are, whatever your mistakes, you are loved. Unconditionally, in your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame.
Corypheus is able to possess Grey Wardens, or so I hear. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm not a real Warden.
It's a blessing. Warden or not, I'd hate to be on the other side of your blade.
Going up against a Darkspawn, and the last thing you want is a Grey Warden. Funny how these things happen.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
I'm glad you haven't lost your faith.
I've questioned it at times, but I found comfort in faith when life offered little. Corypheus will retaliate. It's only a matter of time. We must draw strength wherever we can.
Unless he gets bored and surrenders. Any chance of that?
I doubt it.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
He'll hide. What other choice does he have?
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
We'll face Corypheus together.
There is not another man I would be more proud to fight beside. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, the man I love, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
I don't care what's next, as long as we're together.
And if I am named Divine?
We can still be together.
Can we? I'm not so certain. You haven't lost me yet.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
I think it will probably be a little harder than just one more fight.
I did say it'd be a big one, boss.
So you did, Bo. So you did.
Oh, hi, yeah? Listen, stand there. Right there. Now, about Mythal.
Sarah, I don't know what reaction you want, but can this be it so we can be done?
All right. So maybe it's still you. Someone needed to do something. I mean, you went wading into a well of sorrows. Who hears that and thinks, well, Dunkerbut, let's have a go? Even mad old Abelas said elves destroyed themselves. The only believable bit in a sea of clear demon bait. It makes messing with their relics real stupid. So, test done, you're still you. We can leave these lies behind.
How was aiming an arrow at my face a test?
I heard once that if you're possessed, the demon will defend itself against attack. Sounds stupid to say it out loud. I don't know. I don't know demons. At least, if it's true, the arrow's right there. I'm sorry, yeah? Morrigan's probably got better ways, but who can trust her?
You never do that to me again.
Fine, all right. Sorry I don't know how to deal with rubbish no one was meant to.
You seem pretty certain. You don't believe anything from Mythal.
Course not. What, I should believe all that stuff? Because elves? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
There's so much history there. What if some of it is true?
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw...
Why believe it? Because Abelas looked weird? If that's all it takes, Cariffi's shitheel is full of lumpy truth. You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
It's not as if it matters what I believe. I've already denied being the herald.
Not for me to say, yeah. Just saying. Anyway, believe what you want. So long as we kill Cariffi fish. Whatever. Can't wait, what's on?
I'd like to know more about you, now that you're comfortable.
Suppose. It's embarrassing enough now, may as well.
I think that after our rooftop chat, I get why you're not like other elves.
Well, don't. How about we dig into what you are? Or what you're supposed to be? Are you the humanist human? Can someone point and say, that's what they are? Because I'm just me, and I couldn't give a fig. All right?
I didn't mean to poke at a sore spot. Consider it dropped.
Well, good then. Because that's the way I am. This way. You do this with everyone. Because I hope I'm not the only one that squirms like this. Feels weird.
Anything more to say about where you came from? Aside from hating cookies there.
Denerim, mostly. Before running into another Jenny. He was fun. Had weird friends, though. I think some of them were a lot more serious about being serious. Got some of them killed. I suppose they were like family. Better than Lady Emerald ever was. You know why? They didn't give two squirts about who or what you were. It was all what you did.
So where are the rest of them?
All over. Or they stopped to let new people go all over. Some get rich and stop playing so they can do good things with it. One or two don't. Eventually, someone asks for a favor against them. So don't get like that, you hear?
Denerim is a long way from Orlais. How'd you get there?
By Stinky Horse?
Sarah.
Denerim wasn't much fun after the Blight. Everyone trying to recover, you even feel bad for the nobles. But Val Royeaux, that's a fat city full of fat heads. They just don't know when to stop. You saw it. Orlais is rich and stupid. Ripe for the pickings.
So is that who showed you how to fight? Gave you your skills?
Nobody gave me anything except a chance. And maybe some lessons to start, but mostly just the chance. I took that and ran.
Do you remember your actual family at all? Your parents?
Well, there is the amulet I had as an orphan that has a missing piece. And look at your face! You believe me? No, still no parents. I remember an alienage with arseholes, and hating that stupid tree. The one elves always have. Of all the things to pray at, they could at least pick one with apples.
It's nice to see this side of you. Did you trust me?
Don't you go blabbing around, yeah? Because I'll have a big, trusting foot up your pucker.
We'll talk later.
If you say so. Everyone's ants from here. I like ants.
Corypheus died, and then he didn't. That's why he always felt wrong, like he didn't fit inside himself. He wears another man's life. I thought dying was forever.
So did I. Corypheus seems to break a lot of rules.
But is it him? Is he real? If a man can be dead and then not... Could I have saved the real Cole?
What happened to him wasn't your fault.
His hands were bruised from beating on the wall. It was dark, like the cabinet where he hid to escape his father. His belly hurt like knives, throat cracked dry. He was alone. I pushed through and held his hand. It was all I could do. He said, "Thank you." Thank you.
You know, Viv, you're not bad with that stuff.
You will address me as Enchanter Vivienne, Court Mage to the Empire of Orlais, or Madame de Fer, not Viv.
Oh, right, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am works as well. What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the Snowy Wyvern?
I've brought you the heart as requested.
Inquisitor, you are a treasure. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me. This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
Vivienne,
Yes, darling.
it's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Well, shit.
There's nothing here now. Bastien is dead. I can hardly believe. It was the Wintersend Ball. My first visit to the Imperial Palace. The Circle sent a dozen of us to entertain the nobility. I was in awe of everyone and everything, and then our eyes met. Bastien spent the entire ball at my side. The Dowager tried to have him killed for slighting her, but he didn't care.
Obviously he was smitten. But what did you think of him?
He was a dashing rogue, and any defects he might have had were made up for with rank and importance. It was a more innocent time, I suppose. And now he's gone, and I must write to his son Laurent. And his sister will make a terrible fuss if she isn't informed first. And I'll need to arrange for the Chantry services. Maker only knows how long that will take.
If I can help you, just say the word.
No, my dear. I'll handle everything. Excuse me, I have so much to do.
Give me, Inquisitor. For personal interest, I have relieved Josephine, as you might expect. Knight Templar Samson, General to Corypheus, traitor to the Order. The blood on his hands cannot be measured. His head is too valuable to take. Kirkwall, Orlais, many would see him suffer. I can't say I'm not one of them.
The headman's axe isn't enough? That's an impressive amount of ill will.
The Red Lyrium will steal your vengeance. You know what it does. Corypheus only delayed my corruption.
Are you still loyal to that thing? He poisoned the Order, used them to kill thousands.
Templars have always been used. How many were left to rot like I was, after the Chantry burned away their minds? Piss on it. I followed him so Templars could at least die at their best. Same lie as the Chantry. The profit just isn't as pretty.
You led them to their deaths, but did a good job. That's your defense.
I'm not offering a defense. What I did was a mercy for Templars already lost.
You were always weak, and your leadership proves it.
Every one of those Templars would have suffered until nothing was left. And then be forced to kill and die. I gave them hope. Just like the Chantry. Just like you. I'm weak, and you're a savior. Do what you want. I'm done talking.
Samson, you can still be of use to good people. What you know is less important than what you are. My Arcanist will study your resistance to Red Lyrium.
Do as you will, Inquisitor. Your kind always does.
Inquisitor, thank the Maker you're here. Morrigan chased after her son into the Illuvian. She was terrified.
She was chasing Kieran.
She said he activated the mirror somehow, and then she ran into it. I've never seen Morrigan like that. You must go after her. I will find help, Inquisitor.
Wait, this isn't the Crossroads. This is the Fade. How did the Illuvian lead here? Can it go anywhere? Morrigan!
Go back! I must find Kieran before it's too late. Why would Kieran do this? How could he do this? We stand in the Fade. To direct the Illuvian here would require immense power. If he is lost to me now after all I have sacrificed...
We'll find him, Morrigan. He can't be far.
The Fade is infinite. He could literally be anywhere. Whatever happens to him now, 'tis my doing. I set him on this path. Please, help me look, Inquisitor. Just a little longer. There he is!
Who's with him?
That's... No. It can't be.
Mother!
Mother.
Now, isn't this a surprise?
So this is all some kind of family reunion.
Mother, daughter, grandson. It rather warms the heart, does it not?
Kieran is not your grandson. Let him go.
As if I were holding the boy hostage. She's always been ungrateful, you see.
Ungrateful! I know how you plan to extend your life, wicked crone. You will not have me, and you will not have my son!
Be a good lad and restrain her.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Of course you know. You drank from the well, did you not?
You... Armthal.
Whatever hold you have over me, release it now.
That is entirely up to my dear daughter.
I'm sorry, Mother. I heard her calling to me. She said now was the time.
I do not understand.
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages, ever
ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
Then you carry Mythal inside you.
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. What do the voices tell you?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend given name and called a god? Or something more? Truth is not the end, but a beginning. A herald indeed, shouting to the heavens, harbinger of a new age. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
I know the name Flemeth. It belongs to an ancient Ferelden legend. It says long ago you left your husband for a lover. Your husband then tricked you, killed your lover, and imprisoned you. Then a spirit came to offer you vengeance. Mythal, that's what you spoke of.
One day someone will summarize the terrible events of your life so quickly. But yes, I was that woman. That is how my tale began.
Flemeth appears in other legends, helping heroes for reasons of her own.
I nudge history when it's required. Other times, a shove is needed.
If Mythal is within you, why not reveal yourself?
And to whom should I reveal myself?
To the elves, to everyone.
I knew the hearts of men even before Mythal came to me. It is why she came to me. They do not want the truth, and I am but a shadow, lingering in the sun.
Why did Mythal come to you?
For a reckoning that will shake the very heavens.
And you follow her whims? Do you even know what she truly is?
You seek to preserve the powers that were, but to what end? It is because I taught you, girl. Because things happened that were never meant to happen. She was betrayed as I was betrayed, as the world was betrayed. Mythal clawed and crawled her way through the ages to me, and I will see her avenged! Alas, so long as the music plays, we dance.
I presume you know what we're up against.
Better than you could possibly imagine.
So will you help us?
Once I have what I came for.
No. I will not allow it.
He carries a piece of what once was, snatched from the jaws of darkness. You know this.
He is not your pawn, Mother. I will not let you use him.
Have you not used him? Was that not your purpose? The reason you agreed to his creation?
That was then. Now he is my son. Flemeth extends her life by possessing the bodies of her daughters, Inquisitor. That was the fate she intended for me. I thwarted her, and now she intends to have Kieran instead.
Wait, the way she talked about Kieran.
I am not the only one carrying the soul of a being long thought lost.
He is more than that, Mother.
As am I. Yet do you hear me complain? Our destinies are not so easily avoided, dear girl.
Mother, I have to.
You do not belong to her, Kieran. Neither of us do.
If Kieran is so special, why did you wait until now to come for him?
I did not know where he was. Morrigan cleverly hid him from me. Until now.
'Twas the well.
Be thankful you did not drink. Imagine, bound to your dear mother for eternity.
Whatever else you think he is, Kieran is still a child.
And so much better behaved than his mother was at his age.
Kieran,
As you wish. Hear my proposal, dear girl. Let me take the lad, and you are free of me forever. I will never interfere with or harm you again. Or keep the lad with you, and you will never be safe from me. I will have my due.
He returns with me.
Decided so quickly.
Do whatever you wish. Take over my body now if you must, but Kieran will be free of your clutches. I am many things, but I will not be the mother you were to me.
No more dreams?
No more dreams. A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never in danger from me. As for you, Inquisitor, there is an ancient altar deep within a shaded wood. Go to it. Summon the dragon that is its guardian. Master it in combat, and it is yours to command against Corypheus. Fail and die.
Wait! Are you all right, Kieran? You are not hurt?
I feel lonely.
She wanted the old god soul all along. Is it worth reminding myself that perhaps I do not know everything after all? My mother has the soul of an elven goddess, or whatever Mythal truly was, and her plans are unknown to me.
You truly had no idea what she was.
I knew she kept the truth from me. I even suspected she was not truly human, but this... I always thought the so-called elven gods were little more than glorified rulers, but now... I have doubt. And doubt is... an uncomfortable thing, Inquisitor. I suppose I should be thankful you drank from the well. Eternal servitude to Mother would not be my first choice.
So Kieran had the soul of an old god?
Taken from the archdemon at the final battle of the Fifth Blight. Yes, he has never known anything else. I'm uncertain what effect this will have on him.
But why did you...
I told you at the temple, the magic of old must be preserved, no matter how feared. Kieran had a destiny, and now it is in Flemeth's hands. I suppose we shall see what she does with it.
For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing.
Did I? She was testing me, and I cannot tell whether I passed. Mother said you must summon a dragon at an ancient altar. Do you know where that is?
I think so. It's a place dedicated to Mythal.
As no doubt is the guardian you must battle. Pray my mother has not led you astray, Inquisitor. She is not above doing so for her own amusement. Mother must be very pleased. The Herald of Andraste, leader of the Inquisition, at her personal beck and call. I feel certain what happened at the Temple of Mythal must somehow
have been her influence.
Perhaps she's influenced more than just what happened at the temple.
With Corypheus, you mean?
He does have that elven orb.
Which he had to acquire somewhere. Yes, I see. 'Tis hard to imagine her motivation for doing so. Then again, everything about her is hard to imagine. I suppose we have little choice but to proceed, and be thankful she assisted us at all.
You seem to know a great deal about elven lore.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask. How does one master a dragon, exactly? Is this something the well allows you, or is it a gift of Flemeth's? Whatever the case, if Mother suggests you find a dragon of your own to throw at Corypheus, you'd best get on it.
Do you trust what Flemeth told us?
About what she is? I am uncertain. I knew there was more to her than I realized, that she was not truly human. This? I once found her grimoire, and that was where I learned her immortality was gained by stealing the bodies of her daughters. Flemeth claims I misunderstood. It is not forced on the unwilling. Meaning I might agree to such a thing? Impossible, yet there seemed an undeniable sense of truth to the things she told us. All my years spent hunting for arcane mysteries, and the greatest was the one I left behind.
So what do you intend to do now?
Now? I will take Kieran and leave. Where I will go is uncertain. I must consider the fact that Flemeth may yet have plans for me. You are her servant, but I am her daughter. I doubt she will let me slip completely from her clutches. Whatever happens, I wish you well in the coming battle, Inquisitor.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
It's here. I can feel it.
Yes. I feel it as well. Are you certain it's still in one piece?
I'm sure it's here. Just keep an eye out. This is all that's left of the altar. We few who travel far, call to me and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
Cry havoc in the moonlight. Let the fire of vengeance burn. The cause is clear. A very old invocation. Perfectly translated.
Strange that there wasn't an altar like this at Mithal's temple. The temple was a place of justice. But this is different. This was where the elves called to her. Spoke to her. Then one day she disappeared and they had no one to speak to.
You want us to piss off so you can get to it?
No, definitely stay. I'm here, Flemeth. Just as you told me. If I must master a dragon to fight Corypheus, then send it. Wouldn't have believed it. It will come when I summon it. Once. That's enough to fight Corypheus, however. I have my dragon.
Now we need only find Corypheus.
Inquisitor! Come, have a drink. to killing a high dragon like warriors of legend. I know, right? Put some chest on your chest. That little gurgle right before it spat fire. And that roar. What I wouldn't give to roar like that. The way the ground shook when it landed. The smell of the fires burning. Tarsidathan Halsam. You know, Kunari hold dragons sacred. Well, as much as we hold anything sacred. Here, your turn. Yes, the second cup's easier. Most of the nerves in your throat are dead after the first one. Atashi, the glorious ones. That's our word for them. Atashi.
When you put it like that, I'm worried I killed one of your gods or something.
Nah, one of Tevinter's gods, maybe. They worship dragons, right? Kill the shit out of them all you like. Dragons are the embodiment of raw power. But it's all uncontrolled. Savage. So, they need to be destroyed. Taming the wild. Order out of chaos. Have another drink. Nice. To dragons!
To whatever this is, and the hangover it's gonna give me tomorrow.
Anan.
When waked, we walked where willows wail, whose withered windings wilt wassail. It's poetry because of W's and shit.
Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against, everything they would have hated.
You're letting Samson get to you.
And what if I am? The Red Lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing, and he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. Dagna is far too kind a jailer for the likes of him.
Samson got what he deserved.
The men and women he betrayed, they deserved something better. Samson deserves nothing. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus' army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
Sometimes. My life would be less complicated, less dangerous.
Or it could be worse. There would still be chaos, and that was meant to sound comforting. I can see how it wouldn't. At all. You've led us this far. Many owe you their lives. Whether or not the Makers sent you, you are needed here.
So it's done.
Just about. The little ones in the camps don't have much. I thought this might cheer them up. Even in the midst of war, they deserve to be children.
It's almost time. Are you ready?
I am. I've been ready for a long time. Things become clear on the battlefield. It's where I truly know myself. Everything else fades.
Shouldn't you at least pretend to be afraid of Corypheus? He is an ancient Magister Darkspawn with untold power.
There is fear, but also exhilaration. There has always been one constant. I am a soldier. I am trained to kill, to follow orders, and to ask no questions. But this time, I'm fighting for something I believe in. The people I care about. I chose to stay with the Inquisition. I chose this fight. And the difference is profound. I have only you to thank.
It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? How do you feel? It's not every day one absorbs ancient elven magic.
I've been dizzy for hours, and every now and then I still hear voices.
You may be experiencing mana imbalance. As you know, anything that alters your capacity to draw on Fade energy has damaging effects on the body. This would be the most extreme example I've seen. It will take time to recover. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes.
Did you find what you need, Inquisitor?
I can match the dragon. Corypheus is another story.
Then all that remains is to find Corypheus before he comes to us.
We've been looking for his base since all this began, with no success.
His dragon must come and go from somewhere.
Oh, what about the deep roads? We could send word to Orzammar, hire envoys to...
Corypheus.
He did that? But why?
Either I close the breach again, or it swallows the world.
But that's Magnus. Wouldn't it kill him as well?
Inquisitor, we have no forces to send with you. We must wait for them to return from the Arbor Wilds.
Then I face him alone.
Tell me, where is your maker now? Call him. Call down his wrath upon me. You cannot, for he does not exist. I am Corypheus. I shall deliver you from this lie in which you linger. Bow before your new god and be spared.
Never!
As you wish. I knew you would come.
It ends here, Corypheus.
And so it shall. You have been most successful in foiling my plans, but let us not forget what you are. A thief in the wrong place at the wrong time, an interloper, a gnat. We shall prove here, once and for all, which of us is worthy of godhood.
You're not proving anything by talking.
A dragon! How clever of you!
see that!
Let it end here! Let the skies boil! Let the world be rent asunder! Grant me power to finish this last rite! Not like this! I have walked the halls of the Golden City, crossed the ages. Dumat, ancient ones, I beseech you! If you exist, if you ever truly existed, aid me now!
You wanted into the Fade.
Solus?
The orb.
Corypheus is dead. That's the important thing.
Yet so much has been lost.
There's more, isn't there?
It was not supposed to happen this way, no matter what comes. I want you to know you shall always have my respect.
Inquisitor, are you alive?
Then it's over. How lovely.
And you survive. Thank the Maker.
And the sky is healed, healthy, whole. There's just that left to remember.
Looks that way.
What do we do now?
We go back to Skyhold.
A moment, my lord. My agents have found no trace of Solus. He has simply vanished. If he does not wish to be found, there's likely nothing we can do. But I will keep looking.
Why would he just leave? Something must be wrong.
You said he was upset about the orb.
That can't be the only reason.
Now that Corypheus has been defeated, we have a moment to stop and celebrate. Afterwards, you will be busy. Every noble in southern Thedas is clamoring to meet you.
Oh, now they're lining up to meet me.
Such is the way of things. Previously, you were an upstart. A mage of all things, leading rebels and heretics. Until Corypheus revealed himself, they could not see the single hand behind the chaos. Once he did, they knew. A magister and a darkspawn in one creature. The ultimate evil. Now you are the only power left standing. Enjoy the evening while you can, Inquisitor.
All this pomp and ceremony? Can't top seeing that bastard Corypheus burn. No matter what happens to me now, I can say I was there. I helped you bring him down.
And live to tell the tale.
So now that you've saved the world, what's next? Hoping to put it all back together?
Someone has to fix things. Might as well be me.
If anyone can do it, you can. If you ever need my help, you know where to find me. I'll be ready.
Am I imagining it? Or do we have a moment to breathe?
Definitely your imagination. The party, the cake. It's all an elaborate dream.
Maker knows I could use the sleep. You should hear the stories they're telling in the barracks. The pride in their voices. Some of the soldiers have requested leave to return home, but many would follow us still. You are proof that the Inquisition has made a difference, and that we will continue to do so.
Our soldiers put their trust in you, Cullen. I appreciate everything you've done.
I should be thanking you. You gave me a chance to prove myself. In your place, I'm not sure I would have done the same. I should let you mingle. I'm sure everyone desires your attention. Enjoy the party, Inquisitor.
I've been starting to think about putting all this into a book. I'm thinking, this shit is weird. The Inquisitor Trevelyan story. What do you think? It's a working title.
Maybe you should keep working.
I'll leave the title for last. Naming things is always the worst. I still haven't decided if I should do this book. As if anyone will believe this story if I tell it. Not to mention, I'll have my hands full with reconstruction and relief efforts in the free marches as soon as I get back.
You should write the book.
I'll see what I can do once I get home. I'm not leaving for a while yet, though. We'll have to get in at least one game of Wicked Grace before I go. Curly needs to win back some of his dignity.
So, demons, dragons, giant asshole Vint on a big magic rock. You don't let it get dull, boss. Good stuff.
Corypheus left us a big mess to clean up.
Right. Probably not as many giant explosions in the sky from here on out, though. It's weird. I joined the Inquisition under orders from the Ben Hasrath and stayed because Corypheus was an asshole. Now that it's done, I've got no orders. For the first time in my life, I can go wherever I want.
Got anywhere in mind?
If it's all the same with you, I'm pretty good right here. Anyway, the only place I'm going tonight is back for more drinks. To us, being alive, and the bad guys not. Anan.
So many people died. More still are hurting. They need help. It seems wrong to celebrate, but I want to. The part of me that's me needs to, after all this. The servants are drinking. Some of them are drinking while lying down.
You have any interest in joining them?
I don't know. Not now. It makes things more complicated, and I'm not ready. Someday. Maybe. What happens next? Where do we go?
For tonight, we remind the world and each other that we're alive.
Yes. Because of you. Thank you for letting me stay.
Finally got a party, yeah? A bit of fun for saving the world. It's the least Andraste's Herald deserves for making things normal again. Except for, you know, everything ever again. I mean, is this for us or for her? Or, you know, him? Because I was there and I still don't know what's real.
What do you think, Sarah? Like you said, you were there.
I think that if the Maker was helping, it shouldn't have been so frigging hard. Seems like the only thing we can count on is other people. Still some things to do yet, right? Because I'm in no hurry to go back to... Valrio. That's where I was. You mind if people still stay around? For whatever?
This is home, if you'll have it.
Shut it, you. I cry, I'm punching everyone. All right, enough of that. Is this a party or what? Raise them for winning! Big freaking heroes, Inquisitor. All of us.
Ugh, I should never have hired new caterers so late.
Leave it be, Josie. Everything's fine.
It is not! I'm so sorry, nothing's quite as it should be. Do you like the drinks? I'm not sure about them.
If I told you the port was a little dry, would you burst into flame?
You're joking, yes? Please tell me you're joking. What a disaster. The Somalia was late, the invitations to our guests barely went out at all, and it was so wonderful to prepare for a small banquet instead of the end of the world. Do you know what everyone is talking about tonight, from commoners to kings? Us. Vedas is discussing the success of the Inquisition.
We deserve each and every compliment.
Yes, I rather think we do. Truly, we will never forget those we lost. But for tonight, to victory.
I was passing through the hall this morning and a serving girl saw me and squealed. Actually squealed, dropped her laundry and everything. Such a mess. She was completely breathless. You were at the battle with the evil one, weren't you? I didn't even get a chance to answer. She hugged me. Hugged me. This is your influence.
Admit it, you're having a ball.
I don't trust camaraderie, all these people smiling, buying me drinks. It's unnatural. Mind you, I can't say I hate the notion of being the good Tevinter. I suppose you can't all be evil bastards. The blacksmith said that, and he spat when we first met. I hope my father hears. He will shit his small clothes from shock, I swear.
Will you be returning to Tevinter now?
No, actually. I was thinking of sticking around for a while.
You will?
Tevinter lacks the presence of my best and only friend. It'll keep.
Enjoying the refreshments? Josephine sent all the way to the capital for the petit four.
Oh, I love tiny cakes. And there's so many. Which should I try first?
I would avoid the dark ones topped with gold dust. Deep mushroom and anise. An awful combination, but it's quite popular in Val Royeaux. I believe they call it the exquisite misery. Ole. Why did we save her again? To you, Inquisitor, for all you've done.
So much to do, my dear. I'll be returning to Val Royeaux to organize the Loyalist Mages. The Empress requires my expertise during what is sure to be a difficult transition. But that will wait. Are you enjoying the celebration? Josephine was in a frenzy arranging it.
I should be out in the field.
Tomorrow, my dear. Work can wait. Today, you should take a moment to enjoy your victory. Go mingle. The night is still young.
I can't believe it's over. It seemed an impossible task. Defy the Chantry, build the Inquisition from nothing, defeat a creature that would be a god. And yet here we are, celebrating.
What's important is that you're here with me.
There There was a moment after the orb exploded. I thought for certain you were dead. I prayed, don't take him from me, not after all we've been through. And then I saw you through the smoke. Sometimes the Maker is kind. I intend to rebuild the Seekers of Truth, to make us the Order we were meant to be. That will take time. Meanwhile, I am free to remain here, with you. I think back to how we first met, and here you stand. You are the Inquisitor, a symbol of hope and change to so many. And you are the man I love. How did that happen, I wonder? Know that I will always stand with you. A moment before you go. There's something else I wanted to say.
You know the crisis is over, right? What's this about?
Everything is about to change. You will be drawn in 100 different directions in the weeks and months to come.
Cassandra.
No, it's fine. I simply wanted to steal a moment, while I still can.
Tis said that Corypheus woke after his long slumber and found the world gone awry. He fought to bring back those days of magic and shadow, to raise himself as a god and set things right. Now, we are left with a scar in the sky to remind us of what almost was. It tells us that a great victory against chaos was won, but left the world forever changed. Consider the mighty empire of Orlais, where Empress Celine remains on her golden throne. The civil war is ended, but a new war rages in the shadows. Gaspar, it seems, has learned his lesson well. Even the elves have no rest, with Briala's uprising rocking the empire to its core. Fortunately for Celine, her gratitude towards the Inquisition has remained strong. Some claim she clings too tightly to the Alliance. Others know it is all that stands between her and defeat. The Grey Wardens of the South slowly rebuild in the months following the events at Adamant. They declare it time for the Order to emerge from the shadows, to join the rest of humanity in fighting their ancient foes. Rumors abound that they severed ties with their leaders at Weishaupt, and that a bitter war now rages between them. What becomes of Hawke is unknown, save that all news out of Weishaupt soon ends. Does the sudden silence indicate a battle within, or something far worse? 1 month after the defeat of Corypheus, the Chantry names Leliana as successor to the Sunburst throne. Given the name Divine Victoria, she first declares an end to the Circle of Magi. The mages will now govern themselves. She opens the priesthood to other races, declares support for the Inquisition, and rededicates the Chantry to the principle of charity. Divine Victoria is controversial from the start. Several new sects arise, resisting her reforms and declaring her rule a threat to the faith. She meets with their leaders, urging unity. Miraculously, her words take root, and for now, the Chantry remains strong. The Inquisition's mages, the former rebels led by Grand Enchanter Fiona, are left with a choice. When Leliana disbands the circles, they leave the Inquisition and reform the College of Enchanters as a new order. The college, they say, will allow mages of the South to gather in peace and seek new solutions to age-old problems. For the moment, it appears to be working. Mages are enjoying unprecedented acceptance throughout Thedas. And what of the Inquisition itself? It has eyes and ears in every hall. No secrets are beyond its reach, and that knowledge has become the source of its power. I leave Skyhold now, knowing that power will continue to grow. The Inquisitor is a symbol to many, a leader of the changing world order. To others, he has become a target. They linger in the shadows, waiting for their day to come. When it does, the Inquisition shall stand, ready.
just searching for someone to lead me. Can you guide me to the revolt inside me? Promise surviving the breach. Promise surviving the breach in the sky. Templar igniting fire inside me. Make her remind me. Gone are the days of our peace. Now we reside in the great divide. The promise surviving the breach in the sky. I knew you would come. You should not have given your orb to Corypheus, Red Wolf.
I was too weak to unlock it after my slumber. The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people... they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old friend.
Having the woman who commanded our spies on the Sunburst throne. Like if anybody recites the chant wrong, she'll have them shivved. I'm probably overreacting. But yeah, if you want to go out and find some trouble, I'm up for it.
Frightening thought. A divine with enough spies to know how often you piss. It will be difficult to return to Tevinter after all this. I have a good friend here. You don't find those just lying about. Such is my lot. Just a little longer, then.
The Conclave made an interesting choice in Leliana. Inspired by something, no doubt. I would find the proceedings entertaining were it not going to create a mess I'll have to clean up.
I've been many things. Bard, sister, left hand. And always because someone needed something from me. But I realize now that I am all these things. And yet, not defined by any one. I am now Divine Victoria. But to my friends, to you, I will always be just Liliana.
Skyhold will feel empty without you.
Val Royeaux is not so far away, and I can always use advice from the Herald of Andraste. Not to worry, I'll be here for some time yet. There are still things to put in order before I leave.
Are you still my spy master? When will you need to leave?
The Grand Clerics would love to bury me in ceremony while they prepare for my coronation. But there is so much unfinished here. A new spy master to appoint, and perhaps I'm not quite ready yet. When the time is right, I shall go to the Grand Cathedral for good. They can't know what they're in for.
I wish you all the best, Liliana.
Ah, there you are. I heard about the new Divine. I have to say, I wasn't surprised the Spy Master was chosen. She's quite a driven woman. I'm eager to see what she does. Now, what's next for us? I stand ready, as always, Inquisitor.
Liliana is to be divine. It will be strange to see her go. Given her plans for the Chantry, the months to come will be interesting.
Hey.
Hi.
Good talk, yeah? Nice and relaxed. I mean, we're in with Leliana, so we have no problems. It's the ones who piss her off who need to squirm. I'm staying, though. You find fun often enough. I'm not sure where else I'd be.
Liliana is already turning the Chantry on its ear, and she hasn't yet been crowned divine. It's quite interesting to watch. I offered to remain as right hand, but she has other ideas. I wish her well, regardless. The Chantry needed someone like her.